Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer, and this is Motorcycle Rescuer. So yes, welcome back. We're doing the majority of the work on the zl600 at the moment. That needs to be done and dusted at some point. I did a lot of polishing and cutting up of this bike last week. It's come out quite clean. It needs a layer of wax. That's filler, so that's not going to look good. That would need, I think, one of them sticker sets from eBay would sort that right out. But it's a great running bike. I did actually do a really nice long journey on it on my GoPro, but the GoPro didn't pick it up for some reason, so I may take that out and do another one at some point later. £500 guys, if anyone wants a perfect running 50cc two-stroke now, £500. It's got an MOT till next year, so almost a year. Runs and rides perfectly. The battery's a bit shot, but it kicks every time. Yeah, it's great, honestly. If you're slightly out of London as well, it'll be spot on for you, because you don't have to worry about the inner London ULEZ charge. For the ZL, what do I want to get done today in this crappy weather? Apparently tomorrow the weather's going to be good, so tomorrow we can get some bits done as well. I want to get the clutch back on. I want that kind of back on and bolted. There's something about that being off that annoys me. Back on, bolted up. I need to get these parts painted. They're going black, that same texture, black, truck bed lining black, so they're going to look like the clutch plate. So you're going to have the clutch plate in that, and then you're going to have these pegs here in that, and you're going to have the big bar here in that. This is going to be a black on black bike with some red because of the frame and wheels, and a small amount of chrome. Me and Jake are thinking about the chrome at the moment in mind. We will have the polished forks. They're going to polish up nicely. We've got a radiator grille that's chrome that's going to go on. There's going to be chrome up here. Now we were going to go for black rear shocks. We were going to minimise the chrome, but we could go chrome rear shocks. It wouldn't hurt to go chrome rear shocks, so that there is an element of chrome on this bike. The rest will be black and of course red. Let me know what you think in the comments. This today is, we're back up to date, so I'll be releasing this video today, and I'm filming this video today. It's quite nice when that happens. So some simple truck bed lining layers on that needs to be done and dusted. The reason they need to be done is because I can't sort the exhaust out until they're done. And the exhaust is going to be put back on. We're going to bridge that gap appropriately with the right stuff that we've got. It's basically gum and a bridging wrap. Then we're going to wrap on top of all of that using a exhaust wrap, and yeah, the exhaust should be good sealed and it will polish up nicely. From there, we can't sort out rear shocks yet. I have some chrome rear shocks in there somewhere, but I don't know if I want to use them. I don't know if they're good enough. We can't sort out anything else. Basically we're zero budget at the moment because this hasn't sold yet. This is up for £18.50 now, and the first one hasn't sold yet. That's £1,300. I mean, a riding T-Max that doesn't overheat for £1,300 and it's not selling is ridiculous. But hopefully they will go at some point. What's this? Oh no, not chipping on the wheel. We cannot have that. Yeah, we're definitely not going down the route of wheel painting on this bike. So I'm going to get the clutch cover on. I think that's going to be one of the first things I do, so that we've sealed this area. And then I'm going to be looking at getting them painted so that we can sort out the exhaust. That's not even that important yet. That needs to be scuffed up and painted in the same way as the mudguard and the tank. And I'm looking around to see if I've got other parts to do. And then the other parts will kind of fall in place in time, like the rear brake lever, this lever here, etc, etc. So there's a couple of coats of the truck bed liner, guys. I'm running out, so probably won't get full coverage today on these. Ideally, I would, so that I can get the exhaust hung at some point between today or tomorrow. So I think I'll focus what little left in the can I have on these parts, so that we can start completing the bike a little bit more than it is. It's hard to spray at these kind of angles because you can't get down to the edges. I'm going to let this dry and then I'm going to kind of pick it up, hang it up and get the areas that I've missed. It's very strong stuff, guys. It's designed to be really strong. It's truck bed lining, so you know it's designed to stick and it's designed to be resilient, and it can manage a lot of stuff, so that's good. It is good stuff and I like the texture that it gives. Right, I'm going to let that dry a bit. I'm going to start putting the clutch cover back on. Okay guys, just warming up the 50cc in the background, so excuse the noise. Clutch cover's on, it's great. Found all the bolts for a second now, I was panicking. Yeah, it's fine, absolutely fine. You have to slide the clutch lever in properly. I need to double check this one. I think it is. I think it engages from there. In fact, it does engage from there. So make sure you kind of twist it and slide it in properly. And also there is a pin inside there that holds it all in place, and make sure that pin is back in. I know this is a bit rusty, but I will clean that up eventually, kind of nearer the end. Yeah, because that at the moment that's not hugely important. Side panels, I've got here, I've showed you them, haven't I? Really? I'll get them sorted sometime today or tomorrow. There's no major rush. I could probably do with finding the other one. Where are we next? So I'm now really kind of considering where I should go next. They're drying, but the second I feel like they're touch dry, I need to put them back on to be able to mount the exhaust. Although saying that, I can get a lot of that done tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow's meant to be sunnier than today. That's kind of the key. I'll try and dig out my shocks back there at some point to see if they fit. I might take off the brake arm at the moment, and so that we can kind of start looking at this. My hope is that I can hold the frame and the swing arm up and everything up. Just pop this off with the shoes, just scuff it, coat it with that same stuff, quick drying, really sticky, back on half an hour later, leave it alone. That's kind of my hope, so that we can just get it all on and back together appropriately at that time. This, whatever this crap is, see, this now isn't a coating, this is paint, but similar to the same kind of colour. They matched it up quite well. I'm going to throw the carbs back on now. This is kind of the time for it. I'm going to put brand new fuel line on that I've got brand new fuel line, there's no issue there. Halfords have started selling fuel line again. This is the original, very stiff. It makes sense with a kind of restoration. It makes sense. That won't last much longer. But yes, I was at my local Halfords. I was talking to Danny about it last week, and they've started selling fuel line again, and it's so handy, guys. So if you ever see it, grab it, because it's gold. There you go. There's spot on. That should be the right diameter. That one may be the right inning. But it's good line, you know, it makes sense, it's well worth doing. I also got measurements for the clocks. You know, I've said I want bullet. I got measurements for the Suzuki Bandit ones. I believe they said 88mm, so 8.8 centimeter wide. I believe I might have got that wrong, but that is kind of, yeah, 8.8. So they should slip onto this. So if I can get this angled somehow up a bit more, I can put the bullet covers on over this one, I think, and silicone it down or something, so it has the bullet style look without changing the clocks. The owner wanted the clocks changed to the Bandit ones only because of the bullet look on the back, which for me isn't particularly nice look anyway. I would have got these cleaned up or painted. The other thing is, at some point the actual speedo line was cut, so that needs to be undone, and ideally a new speedo cable sorts it out, as long as the drive down here is okay and in good condition. Funny enough, the cable, the drive is still on there, so we'll get that popped off. We'll get a new one bought at some point, but like I said, at the moment funding is very short. We need to order possibly some rear shocks, and bits and pieces, them cones there, the radiator cover, The actual radiator, you know the switch that turns on the fan, 77 quid guys, 77 quid for that tiny little switch. And I've got the old one out, it's in bad condition. It actually appears to work, but it's not, all the electrics have broke, so it won't be sending the message. But why mess around with weird switches and wiring up here when we can just throw the £77 thing and have it doing what it should be doing properly off its own back. I need to find the bung for here. Where is that actually? I need to find that, throw it in. What we don't want, I mean, we're giving this an oil flush anyway, so, but we don't want rain going in at the moment, so let me bung that up or find the bung itself. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. So there you go guys, carbs are on, throttles all hooked up. Of course we will balance these carbs before they go, once the bike's up and running, and get them running at the best. You don't have to balance carbs with the AirBox or AirPods on, but considering one of our AirPods might be a fake K&N, might be, we will balance them all together so that it's running perfectly in its normal setup. I think that kind of makes most sense. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that we haven't really polished up the carbs. I spoke to Jake about it. We could chuck him in his sonic cleaner, he can do all of that, but at the moment they're a fully functioning set of carbs. Kinda no point messing too much. This is a functioning riding bike. It needs to look nice. It's not going to be 100% perfect, so we're not going down the route of messing with the carbs. I considered painting. I said to Jake I'd quite like to paint them. It'd be the first time I painted carbs, and he said no, too many nooks and crannies that can get ruined. And actually he's right. So they're just back on as they should be. That's fine, that's absolutely okay. Like I said, fully functioning running set of carbs. It's quite hard to put the throttles on when these carbs are off, so do the throttles, sorry, when the carbs are on, so do the throttle cable and return cable while they're off. You can connect the choke while it's on, that bit's fine. I'm going to do that in a minute. So at the moment, nice, we're looking nice. We've got an engine that's, all the kind of beautification work is done. What's that wire? See, that's why I put this here. Yeah, and some of the bigger pieces of the puzzle, like the engine painting and stuff, is out the way. That's the stuff that worried me most. The next kind of steps, the exhausts are a bit of a worry of mine as well, but I think I'm going to wait for tomorrow to do the exhaust because it's meant to be a nicer day. What else? Really want to get that rear brake cover painted, so I may have to look into that soon. What I don't want to do is bulk the bike up, pull that off, and then get kind of stuck with pouring rain with the bike on axle stands, blah blah blah. I don't want that hassle, but I might have to go down that route in a minute. What is next for me? I don't know. I guess I can throw the AirPods back on. They can go back on at this stage, and that will give us an idea of what it looks like. The tank's up there. I'll do some light polishing and sanding of the tank tomorrow to get it up to scratch. We've seen the front mudguard. We need to find the second rear left panel. The actual rear panel is there. That needs just a scuff, and then my satin, and then the flake, and then the clear. That won't take half an hour tomorrow, but will take a few hours to God, will take a few hours to actually cure, of course. So I think next weekend we should be looking at a bike that ultimately has the majority of the beautification work done, may have the exhaust on, and it will just be kind of finalizing bits, the rear shocks, the clocks and stuff like that, that's getting done. So we really are getting closer, but we are also getting closer to our deadline. I just had a genius idea, guys, and Sultan left his blowtorch here, so I put some heat on the paint to help it cure. That's a genius idea, because I need to get these chucked on so that the exhaust has something to hold on to. So that's great news. My aim will be to have the exhaust on tomorrow. That would be absolutely ideal. I do need to go to Halfords. I need to get more of this truck bed lining. Problem is, it's hard to find. Not necessarily going to make it to Halfords and they have this stuff, so I need to consider that. They may not have it. They had one last time, they might have some in, but let's hope. I do need to get some of that textured black, because I do need to do that piece there, and then probably a couple of other bits. I might do it up here because this is rough and finished now. I've got all new bars coming, they're all new. Brake levers, all of that's kind of new, so no worries with that part. Let me get I need to put 2 more clips on here. That clip, I just tightened that on the wrong place. What's wrong with me? That clip needs to go up on here, obviously, and I may get the pods on. So guys, at this stage, I'm going to do a Halfords run. The weather's meant to get a bit better this afternoon, so Halfords run, grab something to eat, gives them some time. I put them at the back to kind of cure a bit more, and then the ideal is that I get back later and have enough time rain free to put that coat on. Yeah, to get that coat on, so that that bit's done and dusted. The bike can be put together and stay together from there. I'm not going to compound these wheels. I don't know if this paint's good enough. I'm going to give them a quick clean. I'll put some wax on them. That's it from a wheel point of view. The ideal, I bet this is Rosso Red. The ideal is that I get a little touch-up pen for bits like that. Again, the bike's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good. So yeah, so that's it. Halfords run, guys, and then I'll be back to continue annoying you all. Okay guys, so we're back. We've got some extra satin black and some extra truck bed lining black. That's excellent. What's next for us then? I think I'm going to try and get that plate off. So I've got to take this off here. That all comes off in one piece. And then you undo the main bolt, which will be on this side. That big old thing there. Pop through the shaft this way, so it goes through this way. Obviously we need to support both swing arms with jacks and axle stands, and then the ideal is that the whole thing comes out and we can just pull this. I'll have to undo that as well, actually. I just saw that. Drop that down, just pull this out enough to be able to get to the pads, and then we can clean this up, truck bed it. I'll use the heat on it to kind of help it cure. We'll get this back on within like half an hour or something. That's kind of the most ideal at this point. So yes, let's start looking at that. That's a 10 or a 12. Let's start with popping that off. Pull that pin out, take that off. That's 2, and then it will be the big old thing on the other side. So my hope was that it would slide out, look, or I could angle the wheel enough to make it slide out. At the moment I can't, so what do I need to do? I feel like if I can move the wheel enough. I wonder if the whole wheel, if I push it back in, I wonder if the rest of the wheel comes off. What I need to do is get, this isn't holding it very well. Let me put some proper axle stands under. That worked perfectly, guys. So slide this side out, slide it back a touch, then that bit comes out. Very easy. Get this drum cleaned. It's got brake dust in there. This is the time to do it. The pads are good. They got plenty life. They look quite new. I will. Am I going to pop these off before painting? I think I will pop these off if I can. Otherwise it don't matter. I'll tape them up, and we're just kind of painting this area anyway, aren't we? So let's get this cleaned, scuffed, cleaned, and get it painted. Keep that clean. So put some tape around that. Plenty tape around the brake pads, although we will brake cleaner it before it goes back in. This is good. This is a good stage to be at. Okay guys, this is coated. I've hit it with a bit of heat just to help it out. I need that one back on ASAP, don't I? And the grab rail I'm doing now. While I'm waiting, I'll start scuffing down the rear panel. I've got the shoes off so that we don't contaminate them in this process. So yeah, we're getting there. Grab rail, rear wheel part, what's it called? The brake holder. Obviously the clutch because your cover has already got it. It don't matter about any of this kind of residue now, guys. It will wash off. You see, that's the point. It's dry. It's okay. Oh, still need to find that. Let's get that covered. Yeah, so yeah, the ideal is that all goes back together quickly so that the bike rolls again, especially as it might rain again today. Be really screwed if it poured down right now, wouldn't I? Because the bike don't roll. I guess I'd have to just throw a cover over it. I'll give it another 10-15 minutes. The heat should have dried it a touch. Yeah, it's kind of dry enough, sticky. And then we'll throw it back together. So I'll continue with this for a little while with the grub rail, so that's also in the same kind of direction. Good. I don't really know where we go. It's a tough process, this is, working with bikes, guys, because you think, you know, where do I go next? And then you always come up with new stuff. Look at this. This was painted at some point, but no way am I dropping everything, dropping all the forks to get that painted again. That can stay. But otherwise it is coming along.